Good evening. Good evening. There we go. On behalf of Northern Athletic Knights, administration, athletic department, faculty, students, and proud alumni, welcome home. We're honored to celebrate the 15th annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony and banquet with you. Whether you're a Hall of Famer, here to honor a teammate, or guiding the next generation of Knights, your presence tonight makes this evening special. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, Mr. Slade, our honorees for leaving no stone unturned for putting this amazing event on for our honorees, Umstead Pines for hosting us, Homestead for providing a wonderful meal again, and to our Booster Club volunteers and sponsors. This night would not be possible without you. Now, next I'm going to share a couple of updates. We're excited to be reclassified this year in the fall as 6A. We are now in the state 1 through 8A, so we're at 6A now. We will be competing in the Tobacco Road Athletic Conference, joining East Chapel Hill, which will also be 6A, and then Chapel Hill, Hillside, Riverside, and Southern, who are 7A, so we'll be in a split conference. Last year we had some of our spring sports at the Old Northern, and this year we now have everyone on campus. We invite you to cheer for the remainder of our spring season, and we invite you to come next fall, especially at football homecoming in your calendars, September 19th. Put it in your calendars. We'll be playing Triangle Math and Science Academy at Kenny Browning Stadium. That happened this year as well, induction. And be sure to check your program for ways to stay in touch with Booster Club, find information regarding Knights athletics, and to continue to please support our Booster Club and our student athletes. We need to have the resources that you provide to thrive. To our remarkable inductees, tonight is a celebration of your hard work, your integrity, your lasting legacy. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Your legacy is Northern's pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Tonight we will be inducting 7 new members, 5 student athletes, and 2 in the service category. This is a night to celebrate them, their accomplishments, and the contribution each made to Northern High School. We begin with Dante Berini, class of 1963. He and his wife Linda live in Durham. They have 2 sons, Joe and Donnie, and 4 grandchildren who are all in college at 4 different institutions. Joey at East Carolina, John at UNC Wilmington, Lewis at Greensboro College, and Jackson at Gaston College. Danny, Linda, Joe, Donnie, who I remember playing baseball for the Knights, along with John and Lewis, are all NHS alumni. Would Danny, Linda, and family members please stand and be recognized? Dante Berini was a 4-sport athlete. He participated in football, basketball, baseball, and track. The first of his 7 letters was awarded in his sophomore year for track, which was his strongest sport. That carried over to Danny's senior year, where he was awarded most outstanding in track, competing in the 100 and 220-yard sprints, the high jump, and running the relays in most meets, while also playing football and basketball that year. Speaking of basketball, junior year, his team made it all the way to the state 3A championship which was played in Kinston before losing to eventual champion Sanford. He credits coaches Paul Jones and James Armstrong, along with coaches Sidney Ray, Ernie Martin, and Bob Collins, for having a big impact on his life. Following graduation, he went on to what was then known as East Carolina College. Upon receiving his degree, he began working at Berini Construction. His career led to being named Builder of the Year in 1995 and 2000. In 2005, the company participated in the Builder Blitz for Habitat for Humanity. He also has been involved in different capacities with the Home Builders Association of Durham, Orange, and Chatham counties, where he also served on the Scholarship Foundation Board. At this time, I would like to ask Dante Berini to come forward to receive his plaque and share any comments he would like to make.
Thanks, Dave, for the introduction. Some of this might be repeated. We didn't get together to know what he was going to say, and he certainly didn't know what I was going to say. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, the volunteers, the Boosters Club, and others who made this night and day possible. This is special for all the inductees, and I'm honored to be a part of it. My time at Northern, which I call my informative years, was life-changing for me. All the athletes had the best coaches, faculty, staff, student body, and principal in Mr. Orrin David Poe. We had great support in every sporting event, and it was an honor to represent Northern for all of us. Game days and nights were filled with anticipation as well as excitement. Coaches James Layton, Paul Jones, James Armstrong, Sidney Ray, Ernie Martin, and Bob Collins were all great mentors and role models, always promoting leadership, discipline, and character. They were strict, but they were fair. It was some time before I realized what these years meant to me and what these men had done for me during that time. We remained friends long after high school, and respect carries to this day. Along with my family, they instilled in me the core values of life, of which I am very grateful for. Paul Jones and I remain very close friends to this day and have lots of love, memories, and admiration for one another. When Coach signed my junior year annual, he finished with "a friend forever." I quote that. And he certainly has been that to me. We're honored to have Coach Jones in attendance tonight. I'm honored. As Dave said, while I was at Northern, I participated in football, basketball, track, and baseball. I was not the star or the all-conference type, but I was all in as an athlete, and I know that I'm a better person for that to this day. The memories are precious to me, along with the many lasting friendships that were formed during that time. Many of the lessons learned during that time have carried on to my personal as well as professional life. Berini Construction Company, a family-owned business, has served Durham and the surrounding area for 66 years. It has been our pleasure as builders and developers to do so. The future looks bright with my son Joe carrying on, with his son Joey as a fourth-generation builder. The years in Durham have been good for us, and we look forward to the future and the changing times that are sure to follow. Our youngest son, Donnie, has his construction company known as Burcon. Thanks to all of you for attending tonight to honor the inductees, and to my family, my wife Linda, my sons Joe and his wife Kim, Donnie and his wife Leanne, and my grandson Joey. Joey just recently graduated from ECU Construction Management School. And was a member of the baseball team for 4 years. 3 of our grandsons could not attend tonight: Lewis, as Dave says, at Greensboro. Jackson at Gaston had games today, and one of them still going on right now. And John is preparing for graduation from UNC Wilmington. To say the least, we're very proud of our family. And it's been a bright light for Linda and myself. For me, this will always be a night to remember with a K. And as a member of the Northern High School Sports Hall of Fame, I do humbly accept this honor with much gratitude and respect. Good night and God bless. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Eric Brandon, class of 1984. He lives in Granite Falls, North Carolina. Eric has been married to his Northern High School sweetheart, Dr. Lurdine Gail Hamilton Brandon, who also played basketball at Northern. They've been married 30 years and they have one daughter, Erica. Also joining him tonight are his mother, Jean Brandon, brother Kenneth Farrington, Aunt Gwen Wilson, cousin Bonnie Rogers, and cousin and fellow Northern Hall of Fame member Steve Wilson. Would you all please stand and be recognized? Eric lettered in 3 sports: football, wrestling, and track and field. He was team captain for both football and track and field, was honored with the Golden Helmet Award for football, and named MVP for track and field. He also took home the I Dare You Leadership Award. I watched him play football his senior season while broadcasting the Knights games on radio. He went on to play football at College of the Sequoias in California and Lenoir-Rhyne University. During his collegiate career, Eric was a 4-year starter, team captain, received the Best Lineman Award, and was All-District 26, a player acknowledged at Lenoir-Rhyne. Added to that, he also lettered in track and field at the college level, was a Scholastic American and All-American in football, and was named a Who's Who in American colleges and universities. Eric has worked in higher education for 35 years at Lenoir-Rhyne and Methodist University. He is currently Director of International and Special Projects at Lenoir-Rhyne. Eric Brandon, please come forward to receive your plaque and make any comments you would like.
Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank our Lord and Savior for this, for putting up with me all these years. I was a handful. And I'm just kidding, but I was a good guy. But I'm honored to have 3 of my former coaches here tonight. Coach Kenny Browning, Tommy Blaylock coached me in junior high, and Gary Merrill back over in the corner. I'm honored to see them tonight, and I wasn't expecting to see both of them here. I'm thankful my family could join me. Dave introduced my family. Thanks, Dave, for doing that. And I've known my wife for 42 years, and she's put up with me too. But we blessed with a wonderful daughter who graduated from Wake Forest University, and she's doing good things and living in the DC area. As Dave mentioned, I've been working in higher education for 35 years, and I love working with young people. And now the last 12 years I've been working with a special group of students, students from about 35 different countries at Lenoir-Rhyne University. Most people like, Lenoir-Rhyne has students from 35 different countries. Yes. And most of that growth happened while I've been working with those students. But Dave mentioned special projects. That's added to my title. Every time we have a special group of students to come in, and I'm going to go back in history a little bit. Everyone remember August of 2005 when Hurricane Katrina went through New Orleans. After that hurricane, I was called to the president's office and said, Eric, we want you to work with some displaced students. So I brought in some displaced students from New Orleans that attended school down there and helped them get used to the Lenoir way and to be a father figure. A lot of them came with a bag of stuff because they lost everything, and was there as a support system for mental health reasons. I was there for them. And then about 16 years later, United States pulled out of Afghanistan. And I was called to the president's office again. I thought I was in trouble. The president said, Eric, we got a special project for you. We want you to work with some Afghanistan students. I said, oh, really? So I brought in 18 Afghanistans, and it's been great. It's been a learning experience for me working with those students, and a lot of mental health things that we've been dealing with. But think about the females. The females wasn't able to finish their education. They're discontinued females from going to school. So I been there for them and graduating about 6 of them this May, and graduate the rest of the cohort May of 26. So that's the special project part of my job. And I am fortunate to work with those two groups. I could write a book about higher education and the students that I have worked with. And I just want to say to my fellow Hall of Famers, you already proven yourself. Your worth is not defined or measured by your medals or honors, but by the person you are. Do not let society define you. Life is not about fame. It's about being right with God and doing the right thing in your community. Thanks, Dave.
Next, we honor Christy Wright Chilausky, class of 1997. She lives in Durham with her spouse, Amy Kelly. Christy has 4 children, Caden Chilausky, 19, Haley Chilausky, 18, Leah Terry, 19, and Kai Terry, 22. She has a special family: her mom, Robbie Aiken, her sisters, Sarah Beth and Aaron, her brother, Todd Fields, and uncles Tommy and David Blaylock. I ask those at her table to rise and be recognized. Christy left her mark on Northern High School as a varsity starter all 4 years in basketball and volleyball, a varsity starter for 3 years in soccer. She was the Northern Female Athlete of the Year for 1994, 1995, and named the most versatile athlete for 1996-97. She graduated in 1997 as the all-time leading scorer in basketball. It was special for her to play on Northern's basketball team with her first cousin, Kimberly Blaylock. Christy was recruited by Wes Moore and attended college at Francis Marion University, where she became the first woman in school history to have over 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists.
Yes, ma'am.
In her freshman debut in the Disney Tip-Off Classic, she was the MVP and capped off her career being selected to the Francis Marion All-Decade Team. She is very proud of her nursing career. She was a critical care nurse during the pandemic. For that, she received awards for her courage, selflessness, and amazing care. Currently, she is interim director of inpatient admissions at the North Carolina Specialty Hospital. Christy, please come forward to receive your plaque and share any comments you would like.
All right, playing sports was my thing. Public speaking is not, so. Good evening. It's hard to put into words what this moment means to me. Being inducted into the Northern High School Hall of Fame is an incredible honor, one that humbles me deeply. To be recognized in this way, in this very place where I first fell in love with sports, where I found my voice, my confidence, my people, is overwhelming in the best way. First and foremost, I want to sincerely thank the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor. Thank you for recognizing the hard work, the passion, and the journey. It means so much to me to be included among the amazing individuals who have come through the same halls and left their mark. Basketball has always my first love. It taught me discipline, perseverance, and the power of teamwork. I am blessed to continue my journey at Francis Marion University, but the foundation, the grit, the heart, that all started right here at Northern. I also had the privilege of representing the school in volleyball and soccer. Each sport taught me something different, but all of them gave me a gift of lifetime friendships, unforgettable memories, and lessons I still carry today. To my coaches, thank you for believing in me, even on the days that I didn't believe in myself. You challenged me to push harder, dream bigger. You led by example. You didn't just coach a team, you shaped young people, and I am forever grateful to have been one of them. To my teammates, you are my second family. We sweated together, we struggled together, we celebrated together. Whether we were on the court or on the field or just in the locker room laughing, those moments are what I treasure the most. We shared something special, and I carry all of you in my heart. To my entire family who is here tonight, thank you for being my foundation, your love, your encouragement, your presence at games, every milestone, every moment. It has meant everything to me, whether it was a ride to practice, a word of advice, or simply being there when I needed someone. I felt your support every step of the way, and I am so lucky to have a family like you all. And to my mom, my biggest supporter, my rock. You've been there through it all. Early mornings, long rides to Greensboro and back, tough losses, and even the best victories. Your love and sacrifice never went unnoticed. This moment, this honor is yours as well. Thank you. And lastly, I want to honor my late cousin Kim. Having her as a teammate in both basketball and soccer was one of the greatest joys of my life. She brought light, laughter, and heart to every team she was on. Now that she is no longer with us, those memories mean even more to me now. I carry her spirit with me every day, and I know she's here tonight, watching with pride. Thank you again to the Hall of Fame committee. Thank you, Northern High School, for shaping me, challenging me, and celebrating me. I will always carry this place in my heart. Thank you.
Next up is Greg Neal, class of 1981. He and his wife, Robin Oath, reside in Tampa, Florida. Will Greg, Robin, and Greg's dad please stand and be recognized? Greg's accomplished athletic career began at Northern, where he played basketball and competed in track and field. On the basketball court, he was varsity most valuable player and a McDonald's All-American in 1981. In track and field, he was not only the Knight's outstanding field athlete, he received All-American recognition as well. In his senior year, he placed in 4 events at the state meet: long jump, triple jump, the 4x100 relay, and the 4x200 relay. Greg was part of the team that ran to a first-place finish in both relays. The 4x200 team recorded the second fastest time ever in the United States. Northern took home the state championship and set the record for the most points ever scored in a state meet. The year before, he helped the Knights finish second in the state. After Northern, was on to the University of Tennessee, where he was a standout. As a member of the track and field team, Greg was all Southeastern Conference in 1982. He was the SEC triple jump champion in outdoor track and field. The same year, he was an All-American at the Outdoor National Championships in the triple jump. He was an All-American again in 1984, this time at the Indoor National Championships in the triple jump. He was also a University of Tennessee football athlete. Greg graduated in 1986 with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and as a mortgage banking specialist. Greg, please come forward to receive your plaque and share any comments you would like.
Good evening, everybody. I didn't have anything planned to talk about, but I'm just going to go off the cuff. I want to thank the committee for honoring me and inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I want to thank my family and my wife, Robin. And I want to thank Kenny Browning for giving me good direction and getting a better understanding on what my athletic ability can do for me. And I also want to thank my uncle, Norman Glenn, and his lovely wife for supporting me in all the games that I had and all my track meets, as well as I want to thank everybody at my high school that gave me support, as well as welcomed me as a part of their family. And what I think is important is I gained insight on who I wanted to be. I gained insight on working hard, and also I gained insight on how I could help others as well. Being at the University of Tennessee taught me that with my athletic ability, I could go much further than what a lot of people thought. And I also gained the ability to teach others and help them hone their athletic ability. When I graduated from college, I went into banking. And for me, that was kind of my All-American thing. I always wanted to be in corporate America and be part of the banking world. So I've been in banking for roughly about 30 years, and it's been a great life for me, as well as a calming and soothing way of life. I also want to say that with that in my life, it's gained me great respect for others, and also too brought me to meeting my lovely wife, Robin. And with that, I feel that I've completed my life. And with the induction into the Hall of Fame here at Northern, it's just been an additional honor to be a part of that family. And once again, I want to thank everybody here, as well as the committee, for inducting me into the Hall of Fame and giving me another great opportunity to live out the life that I would love to live. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Mario Paylor, class of 2002. He and his wife Becca live in Monroe, North Carolina. They have a son, Evan, and a daughter, Haley. Joining them tonight are Mario's mother, Phyllis Evans, his stepfather, Dungy Taylor, Mario's sister, Nikki, his brother, Jason Kirkland, and uncle and aunt, Ronald and Sharon Evans. Will you all please stand and be recognized? Mario played football and wrestled at Northern. In football, he was all-conference 3 times, all-region twice, 2001 Defensive Lineman of the Year, and Golden Helmet Award winner. On the mat, he was all-conference 3 times and 2002 state runner-up. He coached as part of a staff that in total coached multiple state placers, 2 state champions, and 2 All-Americans. He was not on staff to coach 2 more state champions, but was part of the staff that, as he said, raised them. Mario went on to play football at Guilford, where he earned all-conference recognition 3 times. He mentions Janet Merrill, Ray Leathers, and Walt Hensler as people who had a big impact on him. He is now Assistant Athletic Director of Internal Operations at Wingate University. Mario Paylor, please come forward to receive your plaque, and I believe he has some thoughts that he would like to share.
Thanks, Dave, for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, this isn't my thing either, Christy. So, first of all, I want to give all glory to God, because without Him, this wouldn't have happened. I want to thank the committee and for everyone being here tonight. I want to thank my coaches, Coach Merrill, Coach Long, Coach Rigsby, Coach EMB, and Coach Monsees. Coach Monsees coached me at CUNY middle school, and he was a great part of what molded me into becoming the Northern Knight that I am. With that said, I would like to say I want to recognize my former athletes that are here. Robin Monsees, founding member of Team Rio. When I came back, when I was coached to come back, I was Robin's practice partner. So it was me, Robin, and another guy, and we practiced together every day. And I ended up we turned Robin into a state qualifier, and nobody saw that coming. I want to recognize Rodney Shepard and Josh Brown. Those 2 guys just lit a fire under me to get them better every day. I want to say thank you to my family, especially my mom, my uncles, Ronald and Bill, my sister, my brother, for sacrificing vacations in the summer so that I could do everything I needed to do to be a successful Northern Knight. When I got the phone call, I was really surprised. But what made it even better is I got it from Matt Brown, one of my best friends and the best mentor I can have. I want to think right now that Miss Merrill, Coach Hensler, and Coach Leathers have a blue and gold table upstairs, and they're watching down on this right now, and that my Uncle Bill has a cookout happening right now. The last thing I want to say is I bled and I bleed blue and gold. So much so when I left Northern, I went to another school, Fort Mill High School in South Carolina, blue and yellow. At Wingate, we're blue and gold. Go Dogs. But again, thank you everybody for being here. I'm honored, truly honored to be a part of this group. Thank you.
Those are our student athlete inductees. We're now going to induct 2 people to the Hall of Fame in the service category. Both these men have had a major impact on Northern high school athletics and the Northern community. We begin with Gary Merrill. He and his wife Melinda reside in Orange County, and they are being joined tonight by Gary's mother, Seal. If you would please rise to be recognized. In high school, Gary played for Bill Joy at Graham High School, where he was a 3-year starter and tri-captain his senior year. He was all-conference and played in the North-South All-Star game. In college, Gary was a 4-year starter for Coach Charles Forbes at Guilford and received the Best Offensive Back Award. He graduated in 1981 and coached the wide receivers there. He came to Northern High School in 1982 and was assistant football coach for Kenny Browning from 1982 through 1993. I first had the pleasure of meeting Gary in 1983. Gary was the head football coach at Northern from 1994 to 2004, and again in 2011 and 2012. His record was 113-31. He won 9 conference championships and was Coach of the Year 9 times. I recall seeing his parents and his brother at every game I attended. He was a Shrine Bowl assistant coach, an NFL Coach of the Week. Altogether, he won 18 consecutive football conference championships. Add to that being a member of the Board of Directors for the North Carolina Coaches Association and North Carolina Football Coaches Association. Gary was also head track coach. Under him, the Knights had a 59-10 dual record. They won 3 conference championships. They were sectional champion, regional champion, and state runners-up. It is now time to present Gary Merrill with his plaque and share any remarks if he would like.
I am so grateful for this. I spent a total of 27 years at Northern High School. During that time, worked with a lot of student athletes. I mean, in our audience tonight, there are players who played for Kenny and me, and then coached and played for me and coached with me too. And I want to say thank you for you guys and the coaches that are here. Coach Monsees, Mike, where are you? I'm good. We had some good times, didn't we, Mike? Okay, Mario, great player, really good coach. Danny Long, he's one of my favorite coaches. He went with me. I actually left Northern a couple times. And he went with me to other places that I'm not going to share their names. Northern is, for me, my home. Always has been. I lost my dad, who was my hero, at the beginning of January this year. And my dad and my mom loved coming to Northern High School football games. They stayed up here in the stands. They would sit with the players' parents, and Mom tells stories even now of how if somebody wasn't up there in the stands, you know, everybody was asking where they were, because that's the way it used to be. Tommy was an assistant coach with us, you know, with me, with Kenny, also one of my assistant coaches, and a fabulous athletic director of Northern High School, and also the county athletic director. And Tommy, I was going to say a fat joke first, because we had a rule that no one that was under 220 pounds could start a fat joke. Is that right? That's right. We had a lot of good times, Tommy and me. My brother Keith, I wish he was here. He started with the Ball Boys in 1984. Where's Kenny? Is that right? 84, 85. He was there every game, every week. He was an optometrist, and sometimes he would come down. He had a meeting in Asheville, and he would drive down for the game and then go back, okay, that same night. There's a ball girl here tonight, which is my daughter, well, really my stepdaughter, but my daughter, okay, Jessica, who was a ball girl for us in 2012, and Krista, you know, all my family's over here. I love you guys. And Kenny, my mentor. Without him, I mean, I was so blessed that he and Mr. Poe hired me in 1982. And I want to say thank you so much, because everything, he taught me how to be a coach. He taught me how to treat players. He taught me how to do the things necessary to have a great athletic program as an AD there, because we were good in all sports, and Kenny was there, and Tommy too. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thanks for allowing me to come up here and ramble a little bit. Thank you.
Well, we wrap up tonight's Northern Athletics Hall of Fame banquet with the induction of Tommy Parker. A Durham native, he and his wife Susan live in the Bull City. They have 2 sons, David and Jordan, a daughter Meredith, and are the proud grandparents of 7. Would Tommy, Susan, and those who are here to support them please stand and be recognized? They've got 3 tables over here. Tommy was a 3-sport athlete at Durham High, playing football, basketball, and baseball. He was named 1971 All-Conference quarterback, a pitcher and shortstop. The Bulldogs were baseball conference champions in 1972. He was recipient of the Baseball Roger Craig MVP Award that year, received the Baseball Player of the Year Award for 4A Division III, and capped off his senior year with the 1972 Paul Williamson Athlete of the Year Award as Best All-Around Athlete in Durham. At Appalachian State, he was a 3-year letterman as a baseball pitcher. He pitched on the team that won its first Division I Southern Conference Championship in 1973 and also pitched in that year's NCAA College Baseball Regional. In 1976, Tommy returned to Durham High as a PE and health teacher. He was assistant football coach under Hal Stewart and head tennis coach. He was head football coach during his time at J.F. Webb High School and was named Coach of the Year after leading them to the Triangle 3A Conference Championship in 1984. Tommy joined the faculty at Northern High School in 1988. He was head golf coach. His team won 5 conference titles, and he was 5-time Pac-6 Golf Coach of the Year. From 1988 through 1993, he served as assistant football coach under Kenny Browning when the Knights were becoming 9-time Conference 4A football champions. It was during that time Northern was 1992 State 4A runners-up and 1993 State 4A champions. He became athletic director from 1994 to 1997 and was assistant football coach under Gary Merrill. Tommy then became Durham Public Schools athletic director from 1997 to 2004 and was named 1999 Athletic Director of the Year by the North Carolina Association for Athletic Education. He returned to Northern High School from 2004 to 2006 and retired in 2008. Tommy Parker, will you please come forward to receive your plaque, and you have the opportunity to share some thoughts if you'd like.
Hey, let me tell this fat joke real quick. It was true. I never got to say one, though. I was working around all these big guys. But I'm such a believer in providence of God working in your life, and there are divine moments in your life. And there are moments where you can take this road or take this road. And I remember in 1988, I just finished up a season at Oxford Webb, and I had been an assistant principal for 2 years there, and I was decided to go into the administration. And so I retired from Webb, and it happens to be at the end of that 87 season, we were coming back from or coming out of a regional awards or service or something at the hotel, and I run into Kenny Browning, and Kenny happens to say, "Tommy, would you like to think about getting back into coaching?" And I said, "I don't know. I just got a lot on my mind right now and on my heart. I don't know." And so he had a secondary coach that was leaving and going to another school. And so for the next 3 months, I kept coming back from Webb to Northern, spend time with Kenny and his staff, and got to meet all those guys. And after about 3 months of doing that, we were coming back from East Carolina, a coach's clinic. And I just felt it weighing on my heart. That's where I need to be. And so I came to Northern, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. And the people that Gary was talking about, I was with the same folks, and I was honored to be with the folks. I've learned so much about myself, so much about others. Being around those kids in the weight room and fitness classes all day, I still can't hear very well, all of them ringing. But I had some great times with the kids, great times with the kids. And I've seen some of the students here tonight, and I certainly appreciate you being here to honor them all. Also, I would like to say to Coach Browning and Susan Browning that thank you so much for taking Susan and I under your wings when we got here, and just kind of, I told Kenny one day he was kind of like he was a mentor, but he was like a big brother. I was the oldest in my family, and so he was my big brother. And then Gary, we had some really good times together, and we could kind of talk behind the head coach's back a couple of times, and we get to laughing about meetings lasting all night and all that kind of stuff. But Gary was here again, a super football coach, and I learned so much from him as well. They mentioned a moment ago that I went to Durham High School, and proud to be a Bulldog. And I had one of my sons went to Wingate, so he's proud to be a Bulldog too. You know, so when we first started going to Northern and working and trying to get things together, I had to learn the whole system, and they were very patient with me. But it was like learning football over again, because it was such a well-organized program, and people just worked hard, worked together. It was a family. But we mentioned the Durham High. Paul Jones was mentioned several times tonight. He was my coach at Durham High School, one of them, and has been a friend of mine for a long time. He used to come up to Appalachian State and visit 2 or 3 of us that went to school there. He would stop in and say hello. I love that guy. He's wonderful. But anyway, as I grew in my experiences through Northern High School, I understand that when we can give of ourselves for something bigger than us, one of the things in the world of sports, sometimes you get a little bit selfish, or it's the me attitudes with the kids or other coaches or whatever it might be. But when you learn to give, it comes back tenfold. It comes back tenfold. And there's so many of you in here I do know, and I have talked with tonight, and I don't want to go down the list, but I do thank you. And Rusty, I remember you from way back. That was a long time ago. Rusty used to, when I was pitching at Durham High School, he was an umpire. And Northern grad, but an umpire. And he would officiate our games down at the old Durham Bulls Park. And I remember that when, back in the early 70s. Yeah, and I appreciate that very much. I wanted to introduce, if you don't mind, just for a second, my son-in-law, Hugo Nolasco, right there. And that's my daughter, Meredith. And then my daughter-in-law, Jan, right there. And her husband, Jordan. And then there is Kelly. That's David, my son's wife. And David was one of those ball boys y'all talking about. He and John. Where's John? Yeah, they always did a good job on the sidelines for us. But I do want to say one thing. As we move forward, these times become so precious to us. And I just have to say that I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing or what I have done without the Holy Spirit working in my life. Amen. God is a big God. He's a good God. Even in the valleys, He's a good God. And my kids have heard it so often when we start talking about success, and they know what I would say. They'd probably tell me this, that when things go real good for you, what would I say? Don't get the big head. Don't get the big, because you're about to fall. You're about to fall. And don't be so worried that you're paralyzed when you fail. Failure can be a great opportunity for the Lord to show you a miracle. You know, He shows up and shows off during those times, and He has in my life. And I mentioned about forks in the road and making great decisions. I didn't make a lot of great decisions, but I mentioned one coming to Northern, and another one is the lady I met at Durham High School. My wife over there, Susan. It took 8 years for me to chase her down and catch her, but then finally we agreed to get married, and we've been married 47 years. And so I want to say that because anyone that can put up with me that long and that steady is a special, special person, and she is that. She is that, a special person. And tonight I also have got a good friend of mine, a longtime buddy, and his wife, Mike Sweeting there. I call him Bubba. Everybody's got a Bubba. Everybody needs a Bubba. He's a Bubba. And he came down all the time to see games at Northern, and just glad to have you and Sharon here tonight. And I'm going to leave this one last to brag on the old Bulldogs back in the day. Alan Stevenson over here was a Bulldog. He was a Bulldog with Hal. And glad to see y'all here tonight, guys. All of you, okay? Thanks to committee for holding this, and the Booster Club. And I had such an experience working with the golf program, and then when I was downtown as AD, I got to working with so many other schools, all the schools in Durham I was working with. So I got to know all the coaches and teachers and all that, and it was a blessing to me. And I just wanted to share that with you. Okay? Thank you so much. And I think I'm the last one, right?
You are.
I might get a standing ovation.
You will.
Thank you.